And let's go straight across now to our correspondent Simon Marks, joining us live on the broadcast. Also with us is Susan Tehrani, getting us the very latest from New York. First to you, Simon, how close is this contest still? Bring us up to speed with the latest numbers and the indications coming in.
Well, look, the fight is absolutely still on. There's no question about that. There could be an outcome to all of this in the course of the next few hours, but complicating all of those numbers that you've just laid out, Molly, and I know everybody's probably, reaching for their calculators and their abacuses, in a bid to try and understand where all of this is heading. But complicating things is the fact that there are two separate versions of the delegate count. There's the delegate count that is being promulgated by Fox News and the Associated Press, which says that Joe Biden only needs to win one more state, maybe Nevada, in a few hours' time, at which point he would have won the presidency. But that's only because Fox News and the Associated Press have awarded Arizona to Joe Biden. The other television networks here, ABC, CBS, NBC, the New York Times, a host of other news organizations, they have not awarded Arizona to Joe Biden. They still think the race there is too close to call. And indeed, last night, the race was moving slightly in Donald Trump's direction there when fresh numbers came out in Maricopa County. So those broadcasters and newspapers argue that Joe Biden actually needs to win two states in order to go over the top in the Electoral College, and he could do that with Nevada and Georgia on the other side of the country. Vote counting still underway in Pennsylvania. That vote moving increasingly in Joe Biden's direction, as it has been in Georgia over the course of the last few hours. But remember, the Trump team is throwing everything at this legally. If they had a kitchen sink with them, they'd throw that at it as well. They want to stop the counting of votes in Pennsylvania. They say they're poised to make an announcement in Nevada. It may well be some kind of legal challenge to the results there. They've already asked for a recount in Wisconsin. And while for a brief few hours yesterday, the mood inside the White House seemed to be resigned to this idea promoted by one of Joe Biden's campaign managers that his victory, Joe Biden's, was a foregone conclusion, they have demonstrated in the intervening hours within the Trump campaign that they've still got an enormous amount of fight in them left. So this thing is not over, and there could be some very dramatic developments in the next few hours.
Indeed, not over. It is completely over. On to Susan now. Just less than half an hour ago, Donald Trump has tweeted in his trademark capitalized letters, "Stop the vote count." Given the numbers, Joe Biden, given the scenario, if he does happen to beat Donald Trump when it comes to the final result, what impact would the current litigations have? Will there still be a question mark over Joe Biden's fate?
Yeah, so Donald Trump has been really talking about whether or not there's been quote-unquote widespread voter fraud even before the counting started. At this point, many believe that he's just questioning the integrity of the electoral process, considering the fact that all votes haven't been counted. Now, except for the case of Pennsylvania, where they have hinted that there may be some kind of recount and, the issue may go to court at the end of the day, these other little lawsuits, small lawsuits, states here and there, they're disputing very small numbers at the end of the day. And it's yet to Donald Trump and his administration can't just show up at the Supreme Court and say, we need you to decide the elections. There are federal, local and federal prosecutors that have to first decide whether or not it's worthy to really check into this recount, whether or not, there has been some kind of questionable activity throughout the counting process. And then it gets, we may possibly not 100%. We may see something like Bush versus Gore in 2000, but it's very unlikely. These lawsuits that they've claimed and filed, they're for very small numbers. So, we'll have to wait and see.